adopted. We'll now move to take the resolution. Yes, Majority Leader.
So, Speaker, I move that the resolution captured as item number 16 be adopted by this House. So, Speaker, the resolution captures the names of the members of the delegation from Ghana to the ECOWAS Parliament, and they include Honorable Bernard Ahiafo as leader, Honorable Roxanne Nelson, Eche Kwame Diafemepo as member, Honorable Collins Dauda as member, Honorable Zaneto Ajima Rollins as member, Honorable Frank Anodompre as member, and Honorable Patrick Yabuama as observer. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Any seconder? Yes.
Speaker, I rise to second the motion move.
Motion for the adoption of resolution moved and seconded for the consideration of the House. Since this is a consequential resolution based on the adoption of the report, I proceed to put the question. Those in favor of the resolution number 16 on the order paper at page 6, say aye. Those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The resolution has accordingly been adopted. I'll have a few things to say after we finish with the second one, which is motion number 17 on the order paper, 17 and 18. So can we take 17 now? Yes.
So, Speaker, 17 is a procedural motion, and so, Speaker, I beg to move motion captured as item 17 on the order paper. I so move.
Any seconder?
Speaker, I rise to second.
Motion moved and seconded. Procedural motion. I put the question. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. We move to the next item, 18 on the order paper.
Mr. Speaker, I think the constitution of our delegation to the ECOWAS Parliament has also gone along the same tortuous route that the constitution or composition of the Pan-African Parliament delegation went through. A lot of negotiations went into constituting this delegation. Mr. Speaker, the composition that is captured in the resolution is as follows. For the ECOWAS delegation, we have Honorable George Kweku Ricketts Hagan as the leader of the delegation. Then we have Honorable Emmanuel Kwesi Bedzra, who has always been a member of the delegation, to remain a member. Honorable Ladi Ayamba, who has been a long-standing member of the delegation, to remain a member. Honorable Eric Affle is being added as a member. Honorable Dominic Napari is being added as a member. Mr. Speaker, it captures Honorable Alexander Kwamina Afenyo-Makin Osahin as a member, Honorable Kwame Aimedu Entry as a member, Honorable Brian Achampong as a member, and there was discussion was to include Honorable Millicent Yeboah Amankwa as an observer. Mr. Speaker, there's still an issue with this composition. And the issue stems from the fact that the ECOWAS Parliament has some very, very firm position on the membership of female members of the delegation. The delegation must have, I think, 30% of the members being women. They don't negotiate, I mean, they don't compromise on that. So there's no way you will send a delegation that does not have 30% membership made up of women, and ECOWAS Parliament will accept the delegation. And they now have the speaker being a woman, and they have the first deputy speaker being a woman. And because of the female leadership, they are very, very, very firm on the 30% representation being women. If you look at our composition, indeed, we have only one person as a woman. That is Honorable Ladi Ayamba. We clearly don't meet the requirements of ECOWAS Parliament, and they will not accept this delegation. Mr. Speaker, the position of this Parliament has always been to send the deputy leaders as members of the delegation. That has always been the tradition. The deputy leaders always go to the ECOWAS Parliament. Mr. Speaker, this side is sending Honorable George Kweku Ricketts-Hagan in his capacity as a deputy leader. Mr. Speaker, the minority side also has a deputy leader, and that deputy leader is Honorable Patricia Apiaje. Mr. Speaker, she is the deputy leader, and this House cannot deny her the opportunity to go to ECOWAS Parliament in her capacity as a deputy leader, especially when it helps this House to cure the problem of sending female representation. That is the position of this House, that the deputy leader will always go to the ECOWAS Parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to moving Resolution 19 of this House, the Resolution 19, I shall move pursuant to our standing orders for the amendment of the composition of the delegation so that Honorable Alexander Kwamina Afonyo-Michael Osahene is removed and Honorable Patricia Apiaje is replaced as the member of the delegation that will be representing this Parliament at the ECOWAS Parliament. Mr. Speaker, again, Mr. Speaker, this side of the House will also seek an amendment to the last member, that is Honorable Brian Achampong, and shift Honorable Brian Achampong to the status of an observer and move Honorable Millicent Yeboah Amankwa to take the place of Honorable Brian Achampong as the substantive member of the delegation. Mr. Speaker, this will give us three female members of the delegation, so that Ghana will have 3 female members out of the total number of 9 members that we are sending to the ECOWAS Parliament as Ghana's delegation. Mr. Speaker, with these few comments and this proposed amendment to the report of leadership, Mr. Speaker, I move that this Honorable House adopts the report of leadership on the composition of the membership of the ECOWAS Parliament, subject to the amendments that I have indicated. I also move, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Honorable Dominic.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, this is the first time in a while. In fact, I had the privilege with the current Minister for Interior to be at the Pan-African Parliament for 4 years. This is the first time in a while that leadership of Parliament are coming to us without having consensus on what to do. I will urge leadership to hold on to this motion, go back behind the scenes, resolve whatever differences you have, and bring the motion back to us. Yes. Mr. Speaker, we are not going to ECOWAS or Pan-African Parliament as ND's majority or minority. We are going as Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, just as I agree with him that ECOWAS has strong and rigid percentages for women and men, it is equally true that we have an understanding, a convention here as to the percentages based on the numbers in Parliament. If you take out Brian Achampo, whoever she wants to take out and bring somebody, this House will not meet the percentage that we have. And he knows it. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I think that the leadership should not be moving motions and asking the House to take decisions that they should take and bringing it to us. I know it is the decision of the House to do, but it is not for Parliament to foist, because the majority have majority, to foist the decision of the majority on the minority about representation. Our side, at least, should be given the right to choose who will go. If our attention has been drawn to an obvious fact and leaders sit behind the scene, they should be able to resolve this matter. But to say that you come to Parliament and say that Parliament should vote for the first time, you are going to set a precedent that tomorrow you will not be able to take. Because it is possible that tomorrow you can come and bring names, and because somebody has majority, he will move the motion and remove every one of them and change for you. Just 8 years ago, this side of the House had 169 members of Parliament. 8 years ago. That is not how we exercise that majority. No, that's not how we exercise it. So I'll urge the majority leader to stand down on this motion, do negotiations on the points which you raise, which are very legitimate. And then tomorrow, or even today, they can bring an amendment to it or an addendum for Parliament to take it. We can take it today. But to be moving this on the floor, I think it is not a good thing. You'll be setting a precedence, you'll be setting confrontations, and it's not good for us. These are very good, legitimate points you have made, and I agree with you that ECOWAS will not accept a delegation that does not. It happened before, Mr. Speaker. We had to change here. We went back and came back to change. So I agree that ECOWAS will not accept a delegation that does not meet that threshold of 30% for females. In fact, we should even be trying to do more. So I accept it. But I oppose with all my strength and with the experience here, what you are trying to do is not good. And you know, deep down your heart, that what you are trying to do is not good. Please, step it down, go back behind the scenes, negotiate, and let's agree to it. It will help all of us. Secondly, as I stated, if you decide to take Brown Achampo out and leave 2 out of 9, it does not meet the threshold that we are supposed to have. In fact, for even the ECOWAS Pan-African Parliament, that you will have 5. If you calculate, we are supposed to be having 1.6 persons. The moment you cross the 0.5, it should have been 2 instead of 1. But we didn't argue. It's supposed to be 1.6 people for us here. Yes, we don't have half. The moment you cross, yes, the moment you cross 0.5, then you move towards the 2 instead of coming back to 1. But we agree to you. So why are you doing what you are trying to do? Because today you think you have the numbers. It's wrong. Tomorrow we may not be here. You may not be here. I may not be here. But you have set a precedent that it will not be good for us. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge you. You have over 32 years of experience in this House. That is, you were first minority leader, majority leader, came back to be majority leader. I want to urge that you prevail on the leaders to step down on this motion, consult widely, resolve the matters behind the scenes, and come back and present to us so that we go back to the ECOWAS Parliament and Pan-African movement with a united force. I'm urging the majority not to go on the route it's going. I'm urging you, please, don't go on that route. Step it down. We can resolve this matter today and come back and resolve this. All the people will like them. They are our friends. They are our brothers. But what you are doing is not good. And I think that you should not do that. Step it down and please, it's not about him. It's not about majority leader. Step it down and please come back. You may have the numbers, but that is the route you are going is not a good route. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, please, I am not prepared to open up this matter again to this debate. We have been along this for the whole of this meeting. And time is not on our side again. The decision will have to be taken today. The decision will have to be taken today. And I'm going to guide the House as to the decision to be taken. I'm very careful about the choice of words. I say I'm going to guide the House. We have gone a long way. Honorable members, please, may I have your attention? May I have your attention? Ghana is so fortunate to be the center of the world. Not only are we the center of the world, we have also led our continent in so many ways. Some have been mentioned. Please, listen, so that we can take a decision that is in the interest of the nation. We go as a delegation of the nation, not of parties. Please, we have evolved this system, but these bodies are still in transition. So we don't actually go by the exact provisions of the constitutive acts. And so the authority delegated to the House by the country is what we exercise here. If you go through the acts, you see that they even call for elections in the countries to elect the representatives. That has not been possible in our countries because, you know, of the financial constraints and the weakness of our democratic institutions and systems. So they decided that the parliament should always take the decision. And so when you go as a delegation of the country. I've been part of the people who have fashioned out these processes. And one of the critical issues I took at that time was what one of you mentioned, getting His Excellency the President to be a member of the Pan-African Parliament. You are going to a continental platform. That is an opportunity for you to build up on your leadership, to transcend beyond Ghana to the continental and to global levels. That was the reason that I used to get His Excellency to be a member of the Pan-African Parliament to build up for this position he's in now. So it's not something that we give to you to go and joke. And that is why throughout I've intervened. I'm now talking to the larger body because I did to the leadership. And for all this while, we've not been able to get the leadership to build consensus on it. That's why we finally decided to bring it here. I have done all I could to guide in this matter. Honorable members, it is Ghana that led the issue of education in Africa. I've been drawing your attention to these things. You don't listen. It is our son that went around the whole of Africa to propagate the importance of education. And so it's not just the fact that we were the first in sub-Saharan Africa to gain independence. Even before that, we had this opportunity to lead Africa. And so in terms of education, Ghana was always ranked #1 in Africa. Today, we're at #10. Zimbabwe is leading. Yes. In education. And you know, the person who led Zimbabwe up to this stage to lead was produced here by Ghana. The first president of the independent Rhodesia that became Zimbabwe was produced here in Ghana. Now we've lost that position. We are recapturing that lost glory. And you know, Ghana was referred to as the Mecca of the black race. Every black person in the world wanted to visit Ghana. We have lost that. We are trying to recapture it. So when we send you to represent us at these bodies, you represent the country Ghana, and you work as one body. We have risen up to positions there. Some of you have made very good records there. I can mention the names from both sides of the political divide. They've really made names there, and I get the reports. In fact, I convinced Honorable J.H. Mensah that we leaders should not be members of these delegations. Because we are to be here and to lead the House here, but not go to be in ECOWAS or Pan-African for years. If not, the first list that was submitted was majority, minority leaders. And I said no, I opted out. And he accepted my submissions. And we decided to use other members. Today, some of you leaders have taken up the issue, and sometimes we lose you. There are matters here, the leader is not around to lead. He's in ECOWAS or he's in Pan-African Parliament. Please. Leadership is about sacrifice. For all these months, I have tried to mediate in this matter, and we can't get solution. I've been prevailed upon by some of the leaders here that we should use the formula of the composition of this House in the composition of all bodies of this House. And I said that is wrong. We cannot do that. We are not only governed by laws in Ghana, we are also governed by laws that are continental and global. And so, please, the guidance I want to give again in this matter. You have done the ECOWAS. There are a lot of things that come to me, and I take decisions sometimes on your behalf. Depending on the nature of the subject matter, I usually sometimes make it the same number. And you recall my earlier ruling here that when we listen to the right, we have to listen to the left. We did not use the formula in this to say that, oh, 2 people or 3 must speak here, then 1 to the left. That is not democracy. Your constitution itself was built under the assumption of a majoritarian government. Is that what we've been experiencing? No. Ghanaians don't agree. They build that there must be a balance. And so you realize that some provisions in the Constitution are crafted in such a way that they are looking for a majority rule, while some provisions have opened up even to independent presidents. And so if the person is an independent president, he has no party, where is the majority coming from? But he has to rule. And so we have to balance these things. The ECOWAS one, I advised that in view of what was happening, because in ECOWAS, I should start with Pan-African. In the Pan-African, we have only 5. Only 5. And you have the issue of the gender. And so we debated it, and I advised that we should add 1 to make it 6. Then this issue about the formula came in, and it was a struggle until I advised that we all know Honorable Patrick Yabuama. He's a very good member of parliament. He should be given the opportunity. We negotiated until we agreed, from what I understood from the discussions, that he should be there as observer. On the other side, the discussion came to the extent that we agreed that Millicent should be the observer. But we also, looking at the precedent and the rules in ECOWAS, accepted that the deputy minority leader should be a member of our delegation to ECOWAS, not the minority leader. Please, this is the understanding. And for me, I think that is a fair way for us to chat and be still respected in these bodies. It's not only the members. Always, Pan-African Parliament and ECOWAS Parliament will write to me to second our staff to work in those parliaments. And our staff are always working there. As of now, you all know the Pan-African Parliament clerk was here as our marshal. And we trained him. They asked for his hand. He went there. They decided to take him on. They gave him contract. Now he's what? The Secretary General clerk to that Pan-African Parliament. And they rely on our staff always for guidance, for support. So why should they now be having problems in Ghana's representation? It's an anticlimax. So please, we are taking the decision today. The first decision has been taken. The second decision I propose is a matter that we have to maintain. She is my daughter, but these are not personal matters. She has to be the observer. Honorable Millicent Yeboah Amankwa and Honorable Patricia Appiah will have to replace Honorable Alexander Kwamena Afenyo-Markin Osahene. That is the practice, and that practice is good practice. It ain't broken, so we can mend it. Please, this is how we can build consensus in this matter. We are not going back to be negotiating things again. We have to take a decision. I will listen to you. I will listen to you. Don't worry. I will listen to the minority chief whip who seconded. He has the opportunity to come back. There's something he may want to draw. Yes, so let him, give him the opportunity. Then after that, I'll listen to the Minister for Interior, who has also been with me for a long time and has been a member of the bodies we are talking about. So I'll allow the minority chief whip before I come to the majority. Please, please.
Speaker, let me thank you. I tried to catch your attention because we stand in breach of Order 105. And so the motion was moved and my senior colleague was making deductions and contribution. And hence, so we need to come under 105 and get the motion seconded before it could be considered by the House. So
I totally agree with you. But when he stood up, the impression I got was he was going to make the comments and second, but he didn't second. And so you now have the opportunity to do so.
I rise to second the motion moved, and with your leave, make some views and contributions. Well, I am particularly saddened by the turn of event because Honorable Abuja is not here, the road minister, but I see Honorable Bua in the 8th Parliament, arguably the most difficult parliament in terms of numbers in our body politics as a country. But we worked together. Honorable Muntaka is here, Minister. We worked together. In tense moments, we were able to navigate. You were then the Speaker, and graciously you are the Speaker for this Parliament. So you have a hindsight benefit of all that have happened. I'm sad by how things have happened, and particularly between the two leaders. With respect, I am a whip. Speaker, I am not a leader. I am leadership, but I am just a whip. These are the two arrow figures. Speaker, I am third in command. These two people, they have to work together. With respect, and with respect to majority, they have to work together. From where I sit, the last time at conclave, I was drawing the clerks, the chief administrator's attention that they should engage the Speaker. And the Speaker is very good at these matters. We can bridge the gaps. You see, it is giving up on the institution Parliament. We can do our politics on the floor, yes, but there should be some lines that we shouldn't cross. We shouldn't cross some lines. Why should we be composing delegation on the floor? And it happens that we have to take out the minority leader's name. It is not right. It is inappropriate. Totally inappropriate. And Speaker, I know how worried and passionate you have been about this matter. I only want to plead, as Speaker, you are the father of this institution. I want us to err on the side of caution and make a dignified retreat in these matters. And the dignified retreat should be that we should resolve this matter, Speaker, at conclave. I have confidence that, Speaker, the last opportunity given, we should be able to resolve this matter. Speaker, I plead with you. I plead with you. In all matters, you've always counseled us that we should give peace a chance. We should reach out. We should negotiate. We should reach out. We should build consensus. And I hear my colleagues, some say, oh, we should vote. We should vote. Please. 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 You are in the majority. There are times that your leadership has reached out to us for one reason or the other. So this vote thing, when you are saying it, be careful. One day the gun may turn against you. So, Speaker, I'm corroborating, just to corroborate what my senior colleague, the Honorable Nitiwu, said. We can go ahead and vote, but I'm just pleading that we should engage not to expose the leaders. These are the leaders of this institution. We shouldn't unnecessarily expose them so that we can deal with this matter. And I'm confident that given the last chance, we should be able to deal with this matter once and for all. Speaker, thank you.
Please, let me listen to the Minister for Interior.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm really very saddened by the turn of events. Mr. Speaker, when we fail to allow history to guide us, we run into the challenges that we are running now. And if we are not careful, we'll be setting precedents and even more difficulties ahead of us into the future of this Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I'm saying this because we are privileged. Because sometimes we don't know how privileged we are to still have you in this chamber and the like of Honorable Collins Dauda in this chamber. If I look at both sides of this House and I see that our peers, I love Honorable Nitiwu, Honorable Erikopoku, Honorable Mama Yarga, Honorable Rashid Pelpu, Honorable Arun Edisu, and my good self, I get worried when we take, I've mentioned Honorable Collins Dauda already, when we take interim position and when the like of you and many of us are advising and people still take interim positions, I don't know what they want to do to the institution of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, let me say, with all humility, I've had the great privilege of serving in the leadership of this House. I serve under you as Chief Whip. And I'm proud to say I'm one of the longest serving Chief Whip this country has ever produced, meaning that having done this thing again and again and again, to have done it for over a decade, when we advise and people refuse to take it and still remain entrenched, they are not only likely to destroy themselves, but they are destroying this House. Mr. Speaker, you recollect that this composition of Pan-Africa and ECOWAS have always had the deputy leaders and the chief whips in them. I'm yet to be corrected to see a composition of ECOWAS and Pan-African Parliament that had any leader on it. Because there are a lot of other things leaders enjoy as privilege in this House that even the rest of us who serve with them in leadership don't want to talk about them for others to hear. Because it comes with some other privileges, obviously, and it's right, because they carry the weight of the rest of us. So they give in a lot others so that others could have space. That is why over the years, for 20 years, you can go and check the records of this House, no leader on both sides, whether majority or minority, has served in any ECOWAS or Pan-African Parliament. But you see, we are capitalizing on our knowledge of the ECOWAS and Pan-African Parliament to make it difficult for this House. Because in the case of ECOWAS Parliament, if a member is elected, even if his parliament doesn't send him, and he still insists he wants to be a member, the ECOWAS Parliament will support him. And we have a clear example. When a former whip in this House, our colleague opposite, decided to defy leadership. And when he went there, interestingly, the minority leader today, who is taking an interim position, was the one who was disadvantaged. And I thought that if for nothing, he should learn from that. He should learn from that history. That being and taking an interim position will come and hand to you one day. But unfortunately, he's the one who is today making it difficult for the House. Because I've had privilege to talk to him, to speak to him. That you see, sometimes you will never know the opportunity that exists somewhere until you lose one. He may think that he has a lot of leverage in ECOWAS, and therefore he doesn't want to lose it. But he has no idea in losing that what other things is there for him. Mr. Speaker, having given this general background, Mr. Speaker, I want to make a suggestion. Because what I know is that, yes, we can vote and change the minority leader from the list. But Mr. Speaker, as you and I know, based on the rules in ECOWAS, if he travels to Abuja, they will go and embarrass the country there, and they will still insist, depending on who the speaker is, will still say that, look, once he has not lost his seat, he will be kept. Unless we are going to do extraordinary work protocol-wise to be able to correct that. Other than that, they will take this fight to the ECOWAS chamber and go and embarrass her because it has happened before. So, Mr. Speaker, my suggestion is that, unfortunately, you are here. You've had the great privilege of serving as minority leader, as majority leader, as deputy speaker, and speaker, and speaker. Probably the only second person to have served speakership twice. You know the privileges that the leaders, I don't want to mention them here. But Mr. Speaker, this House, if it becomes necessary, we may have to vote and support you. If the minority leader insists he wants to go to ECOWAS, he must be stripped of all the other privileges that the minority leader is supposed to do. We are talking about what do you call it, IPU, we are talking about CPA, we are talking about, yeah, because you see, it is because of those privileges. It is because of those privileges that those leaders don't serve on this. And Mr. Speaker, my second plea to you, Mr. Speaker, and to our colleagues and our colleagues opposite. Mr. Speaker, my second plea to our colleagues opposite. I know how difficult this thing is, and I'm not pretending not to know how difficult it is, especially to the whip. Mr. Speaker, it is better for us to make Millicent a substantive member and take one of the others, probably Brian Achompo, as the observer. No, look, you see, the sad thing is that if Honorable Patrick Buama, you see, you are a backbencher, you don't know what we are talking about. You are a backbencher, you don't know what we are talking about. Honorable Patrick Buama is an observer in Pan-African Parliament. Nobody in this chamber, Mr. Speaker, like you rightly said, would doubt the capabilities and the knowledge and the experience of Honorable Patrick Buama. So being an observer doesn't really say demean the person or make the person of less importance. But you are looking at the way you put the country. Because, Mr. Speaker, you take eight core members, and in the core members, the only substantive female is one. When you get to ECOWAS Parliament, you will be delegating the country, because out of the 8, they expect to see at least 2 substantive women. So yes, if we are able to put Honorable Patricia Prede, that will be fine. But it will be excellent if we are able to put the 3 of them as substantive members. And Mr. Speaker, there's example. I will end now very soon, Mr. Speaker. My colleague, the minority whip, will recollect that in the 8th Parliament, we had instances where we have first-timers, but because of the gender balance, we were able to make the first-timers female as members whilst we dropped some senior members. So I want to urge that we try to get the minority leader to appreciate why he must be out and the deputy minority leader to replace him. But, Mr. Speaker, if we vote and he insists to go to ECOWAS Parliament, Mr. Speaker, my plea is that then you have to look at the privileges that the minority leader enjoys in this House so that we can sweep him off it, so that he can keep the ECOWAS as he may want, if we are not able to remove him even after our vote. But, Mr. Speaker, I agree with you that this decision must be taken now, because all effort, even with me last month, to convince him to do this failed. And I don't think saying that we should go back into conclave will change anything. Let's take the decision now, and then let's deal with the consequences of the decision. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, please, I'm happy that the Minister for Interior has recounted some of my experiences, and I insist. We have finished with the first motion, and we agreed that in spite of all the prowess of Honorable EWURABENA, he should be an observer. The same way we have to agree that my daughter, Honorable Millicent Yeboah Amankwa, has to be an observer. She has to be an observer. She is the future. She is a future. She has to be mentored. She has to grow. Honorable members, please. Honorable Brian Achampong, listen to me. Honorable Brian Achampong stands as a national figure, and his membership will add some more value to our delegation in the ECOWAS Parliament. So he will be there as a member. Once the minority leader gives way to the deputy minority leader, we have the gender balance. So that issue will not rise again. The issue that is left for us to resolve is if he defies the decision of the House and goes there to see his right to stand. And I can assure you that will be no problem for me. That will be no problem for me, because I have reports on everybody as we attend those lessons. I have been leader for many years. I have never accepted to a member of ECOWAS Parliament or Pan-African Parliament, for the good reason that as a leader, you must create opportunities for your followers. And I did. And many of our members here have benefited from that. The former president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was one of the beneficiaries here of our leadership strategies. So is the current president, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency. So please, what we do here is not for our personal benefits, it's for that of the nation. And so I will accept the amendment and urge you to vote according to that amendment, that the composition of Ghana's delegation to the Community Parliament of ECOWAS be made of the following: Honorable George Kweku Ricketts Hagan, leader. Honorable Emmanuel Kwesi Bejira, member. Honorable Ladi Ayi Ayamba, member. Honorable Eric Affle, member. Honorable Dominic Napari, member. Honorable Patricia Apieje, member. Honorable Kwame Anyimedu Entry, member. Honorable Brian Achampong, member. And Honorable Millicent Yeboah Amankwa, observer. Please, as so advised, and I proceed to put the question. Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. This House has always accepted your guidance. And so, once you have guided us, we have no objection. We will abide by your guidance, and we will accept the current composition that you have presented. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, before I put the question, 2 issues. 1, when matters come before this House, they are for the House to take a decision. No party decision from outside will prevail over the decision of the House. The last strong card that leaders were using was that is a party's position. I am not, as Speaker, bound by any party position. Please, if that had been the situation, we wouldn't have taken the concept that we are implementing of a Speaker not being a member of Parliament. That concept is different from the others where the Speaker is a member of Parliament. There's good reason why we took that. I'm not bound. So any party that has taken any decision somewhere, in fact, I cross-check sometimes, and it is really not true that is the party's decision. I am doing this openly because I want everybody to hear, including the parties and Ghanaians. That's why I'm doing it. That is why the wise counsel of the former Minister for Defense, Honorable Dominic Nitiwu, that we should take it back to conclave. I declined that because I want it to go beyond this House, those outside to hear. That is why I'm put here. If I can't exert that authority, please, then Parliament will be a conduit. And that's not what Parliament is meant to do. 2, honorable members, this is the last plea. If you look at our standing orders, particularly the one dealing with use of decent language and how we address each other. You know, if you have to talk about a conduct of a member, a judge, they are specified in the standing orders. You can only do it by what? A substantive motion. You get up here and attack your colleague, member, sometimes without any just cause. I was shocked when I came to hear that a leader got up on this floor and attacked a member who just got up to make a contribution. And that went without any adverse reaction from the House. Please, we don't do that. It's not even permitted by our rules. Particularly the fairer side. There's good reason why we say ladies first. Please, don't allow that to be a practice in this house. It won't help any of you, and it won't help the institution of Parliament, and it will actually destroy our democracy. Please read Order 123 Clause 7, which says the conduct of the Speaker, the Chief Justice, members and justices of the Supreme Court of Judicature shall not be raised in Parliament except upon a substantive motion. Why? Because you give the House the opportunity to take a decision. You cannot, on your own opinion or judgment, get up and attack a colleague and say things that are baseless and have nothing to do with the business on the floor. That is scandalous. Please, I read the official report. I'm not talking about your body languages and the rest, because that cannot be captured in official report. I'm not also talking about the noise, but what was captured in the official report. Please, don't let's continue that. Let's desist. And I'm listening to you because you are not whispering. You are talking to my hearing. We were all brought up well by our elders. Let's continue that way. Please. I'm proceeding to put the question. Those in favor? Yes, please. Yes.
The majority leader made a comment, and I thought I should make some observations. First of all, Speaker, we thank you highly for your wisdom and how you have helped us to navigate in these matters. I also want to assure the House that however unpalatable it may seem, we in the minority will take it in good stride, and the minority leader, Speaker, will not engage in any conduct that will bring the name of Parliament into disrepute. That we want to assure the House, and also to assure the House that we will abide by the decision of the House. I thank you.
Honorable members, I put the question. And the question is that those in favor of the motion to resolve that the following members form the delegation of Parliament to the Community Parliament of ECOWAS be approved, and they are Honorable George Kweku Ricketts Hagan as the leader, Honorable Emmanuel Kwesi Bejira, member, Honorable Ladi Ayi Ayamba, member, Honorable Eric Affol, member, Honorable Dominic Napari, member, Honorable Patricia Apieje, member, Honorable Kwame Anyimedu Entry, member, Honorable Brian Achampong, member, and Honorable Millicent Yeboah Amankwa, observer. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The resolution is therefore taken. Please, honorable members, I urge you to work together as representatives of the country, not as representatives of a party in the ECOWAS Parliament and in the Pan-African Parliament. I thank you for your cooperation and the acceptance of my guidance. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, it's motion 18 that we have taken. Motion 18. So we have to now pass the consequential resolution, which is motion item 19.
Honorable Member.
Yes.
We went beyond the motion, and you yourself even made amendment to the composition in your submission. So you incorporated the motion and the resolution. So after my guidance, and my guidance also went to a resolution, and the question I put is on the resolution, which has been accepted and resolved. So we can go back. We are masters of our own rules. So the resolution has been taken, and then we'll proceed on to the other business. I will urge us to now go back. Sorry?
So what I understand, Mr. Speaker, to be saying is that the resolution is hereby incorporated in the motion that has just been taken.
Yes.
With the name specifically spelled out.
Yes,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I have read it again,
yes.
the names.
Yes.
Yes.
That is so. That is so, Mr. Speaker.
So it is so resolved. Honorable members, we will now go back to item 5 so that we can take correction of votes and proceedings. And the second deputy speaker will take the chair because I have to go and represent the House at another function. Honorable members, item 5 on the order paper. Correction of votes and proceedings and official report. We start with the correction of votes and proceedings of Monday, 21st July. Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, I do not intend to arrest. Please stop everybody. Please stop everybody. Everybody get back, please. Please. Call a lady, call a phone. Please go and stop them. Why are you sitting here and say don't go out? Mr. Speaker, yesterday we had a difficulty. We needed to take the resolution adopting, the motion adopting the report of the Health Committee on the passage of the Ghana Medical Trust Fund bill. A question of quorum was raised, and we had to adjourn last night because indeed, because of the event in Tamale, we had sent about 57 members of parliament to Tamale, and so we had challenges mobilizing the numbers. And we agreed that we are going to take that motion this morning. So, Mr. Speaker, I will plead with you, as we have the numbers now, if we can take motion number 23 so that we can adopt the report of the committee, so that we can take the Ghana Medical Trust Fund bill through a second reading. Mr. Speaker, that is my appeal to you. I'm not seeking to arrest the consideration of votes and proceedings, but if we don't take it, it will be difficult to mobilize the numbers subsequently. So I plead with you if you can take motion 23.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, we don't have any difficulty, so you can put the question on motion 23.
Honorable members, item 23 on the order paper, motion that the Ghana Medical Trust Fund Bill 2025 be now read a second time. I don't know why you did not amend the word trust. Why it's still appearing. But when we go to a consideration stage, I'm sure you will take care of it. So we'll take that motion for the second reading, and then as we go on, it's the second deputy speaker that was presiding. he will still continue with the discussion with you. So let's take that. Yes. The question to be put. So I'll put the question. Let me look at your numbers. Yes, you have the numbers. Honorable members, those in favor of motion 23 on the order paper, say aye. Aye. Those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The motion is carried. The Ghana Medical Trust Fund Bill is taken through the second reading.
An act to establish the Ghana Medical Trust Fund to mobilize resources to finance and support the provision of specialized medical care for the treatment of persons with chronic diseases, to provide for the management of the fund and for related matters.
Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, I know you want to leave, but I will still urge that we vary the order of business and move to item number 24, because there are only two clauses. There are only two clauses to be amended, but he can take the seat, but one will vary the order of business and move to
Second
item
Deputy
24.
Speaker to take the chair.
Speaker, the majority leader just made application to the chair for item 24 to be taken. However, I want to revert his mind. Speaker, yesterday you had given a directive that the finance minister must appear. Yes. No, he must appear. I am aware you be leaving the chamber. You be leaving the chamber for. No, I'm going to notify him. I'm putting him on notice. Speaker, we cannot compromise on the committee of the whole. It's very important. So, is it the agreement that we'll do the advertised clauses under consideration, and then we'll revert to committee of the whole? I want to get that understanding. So I want that understanding established before we proceed.
I thought we didn't say committee of the whole. We said closed sitting, closed sitting. So we didn't say committee of the whole. We said closed sitting.
Mr. Speaker, I think that's a matter we'll take up later, but for now, can we just take item 24 on the order paper so that we can take these two clauses through consideration stage? Where is the minister?
I am not enthused by the words of the majority leader. It's a matter we can take later. No, it's important. And I had made suggestion to the House. We must establish that after the consideration of the advertised amendment, the next business, without fail, is closed sitting. He should accede to that, and then we can proceed.
I am not litigating it. I said that's not a difficult matter. The minister is not too far from us. He's a member of this House. The deputy is also a member of this House. They are all here. They just stepped out because earlier on they had a matter before the Subsidiary Legislation Committee. So they were there. I ended the meeting so that they will all come back so that we can have the numbers. So that's what I'm saying. This is not an issue at all. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, can we take item 24?
Well. Leader, before we move to item 24, I think yesterday we didn't put the question. So it has just been done. Very well. So now we turn to page 13, item 24. Ghana Medical Trust Fund Bill 2025 at the consideration stage. Honourable members, I think we have only 2 advertised amendments to the bill, but we will have to go through cross by cross. So we will start from cross 1. So the table will help us through. Cross 1. Is anybody having his microphone on?
Okay.
So cross 1.
Establishment of the Ghana Medical Trust Fund.
Honourable members, there is no advertised amendment. So all those in favor that cross 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Aye. And we have just gone past by. So all those against say no. Honourable members, cross 1 is directed to stand part of the bill. Cross 2.
Object of the fund.
Is there any proposed amendment? Cross 2. Honourable members, there's no proposed amendment.
There's no advertised amendment.
Well. All those in favor that cross 2 stands part of the bill say aye. Aye. All those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Cross 2 is directed to stand part of the bill. Cross 3.
Sources of money for the fund.
Is there any advertised amendment? Yes, honourable member for Efia.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the clause 3, which is the sources of money for the fund, we have it at A, 3A, that 20% of total money allocated to the NHIF, National Health Insurance Fund. Mr. Speaker, I think the 20% is on the high side, so I propose that the source of fund at A should be money allocated, should be 10%, not more than 10% of the total money allocated to the NHIF.
Well, honourable members, there is a proposed amendment that the 20% should be 10%. Yes, honourable member for Atlantic Achim Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we need to do a balancing act. At the second reading of this bill, we had discussed the sources of funding. The 20%, and we had read a report that the committee has suggested that the 20% taken from the National Health Insurance was too much. But Mr. Speaker, if we look through clause 3, this is the only substantive amount that is setting up this fund. So to take away part of it would mean that we are collapsing the thing at birth. So I would suggest, and I would say that the minister was not clear as to other sources of funding. In maintaining the 20%, Mr. Speaker, I would suggest, and I would want to amend what my brother had said, that it must be the sources of monies for the fund are A, up to 20% of total monies allocated to the National Health Insurance Fund. So that if the minister is able to consult cabinet and 20 is given, so be it. And if they have to adjust and come to 15 or 19 or 20, so be it, but not beyond the 20%. So I will propose and amend what he has said, that it must be up to 20% of the total monies allocated to the National Health Insurance Fund. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much. Yes, Honorable Chairman for Finance Committee.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my concern is that this bill comes with a fiscal impact. And that fiscal impact gives an envelope of resources that will make this policy implementable. So if you decide to vary the sources of funding, what you are effectively saying is that they should go back and recalibrate the fiscal impact. And that will mean that you need to scale back on most of the things that you want to do. So I will appeal to my colleague that in order to assist government implement this bill properly, we need to stay with the up to 20% and not more, so that government is able to meet the target that it has set for itself and to get the people of Ghana to benefit adequately from the implementation of.
So it means you are with the counter amendment proposal of Honorable Anymedu?
Yes, please.
Very well.
Up to 20%. Okay. 20%. Okay.
Minister, can I listen to others before I come to you? Let me listen to the chairman first.
Yeah, right, Honorable Speaker. We are talking about a disease burden on the country that currently stands around 40 to 45% of the disease burden, and a mortality that is around 40 to 45%. And so, if we are just removing just 20% to solve a disease burden of about 40%, then it is, we all hope that this amount will be enough. So to ask that we should reduce it again is a blow below the belt. And I believe that we should stand by it and only hope that we can get some money somewhere to add to it. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
But did you listen to the proposal? He said up to 20%. So it could still be 20%, but depending on...
But it shouldn't be less than that.
Yes.
That is what I'm saying.
Mr. Speaker, with all respect, this was debated at length at the committee level. And I thought we had even crossed, this point, because this touches the core of the policy. And so with respect, I think there is absolutely nothing wrong with the rendition as it stands now. If you are not very careful and you get a finance minister who will allocate 1%, if you say up to, and 1% is allocated, he falls within the law. And so with respect, Mr. Speaker, I find absolutely nothing wrong with the rendition as it stands. And it's a policy matter.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, this was the very reason why we asked for a financial impact analysis. If you are saying that given it the rendition which is being suggested by Honorable Anyimedu and my brother, Honorable Member of Parliament for Efia, then there is the risk that the Minister for Finance may exercise a discretion that will be detrimental to the fund. Clearly, Mr. Speaker, it is obvious that we are pursuing this bill with our eyes closed, Mr. Speaker, in pursuing something that we don't even know of. Mr. Speaker, what is the cost of this fund? Mr. Speaker, Section 100 of PFMA Act requires that we don't undertake this exercise without a clear financial direction. Mr. Speaker, what are we doing to ourselves? Mr. Speaker, we all know that the NHIA is already struggling. And you are saying that we should go for 20% of it. Mr. Speaker, where is the impact?
So, Honorable Member, what's your proposal?
Mr. Speaker, I am supporting a fear that, Mr. Speaker, we cannot rob Peter to pay Paul.
Well.
10%.
Well. Yes, Honorable Gideon Boakon. I'll come to you later. I'll come. Let me
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's important that as we consider this bill, we pay so much attention to the financial impact. I heard the chairman of the Finance Committee talk about the fact that there's a financial impact assessment on this bill. I haven't seen that. I'm not sure if at the committee level they have any such thing. Then he makes the case that if Parliament decides to revise the 20% to a lesser value, they would have to go back and recalibrate a financial impact assessment, which I haven't seen, or analysis which we haven't seen here. But Mr. Speaker, if you look at the funding sources for this, apart from A, all the rest are quite nebulous. There isn't anything concrete that gives indication that B to E have the capacity to provide a CD to this particular, the funding of this particular project or fund. So it's important that, so if you look at it, it means government is solely going to rely on the National Health Insurance Fund. Already, Mr. Speaker, health insurance has huge problems in this country in terms of financing. If you're taking 20%, to do what? Why don't you then let this be situated within the health insurance operational remit, and then we move, other than creating another name, Mahama Care, just for populist reasons. Mr. Speaker, I think we have to reduce the 20% and look for proper and tangible sources of funding. That's the nebulous funding that we are seeing.
Honorable members, ranking. Okay, let me give the last to
Mr.
ranking.
Speaker, Mr. Speaker, with your guidance, the minority, as far as this provision is concerned, 3A, we abstain from it. Regardless of the position of my colleagues, we would want to progress by taking due notice that we don't support monies being taken from the NHIA, regardless that entire provision, 20% of total monies. Because even in itself, in the Act 852, you would have to go into the Act 852 to find out what is core and what is non-core. We have not gone in. That's why yesterday I brought Act 852 to say there are some inconsistencies and some difficulties. So until those are done, and we don't also have the clarity, Mr. Speaker, on our side, we are abstaining and we are not commenting on it because we don't support it.
Well,
we are not.
Well, well.
We are
So,
not. We are not.
So,
we are not.
honorable members,
we are not.
Are you saying that we shouldn't take any proposal from?
As far as the 3A is concerned, the allocation of 20% from the NHIA. So, as far as the NHIA, the 3A is concerned,
then let me put the question.
To any money being taken
then let
from
me put the question. Honorable Afia, are you going by the ranking? Other than that, I'll put your question, or I'll go by putting the question. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm not disagreeing with the ranking member. I'm just providing some further information to the House. Because if, apart from our silence, the House goes ahead to approve as is, we will be breaching Section 100 of the Public Financial Management Act. Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I just want to read Section 100. Yes, but it should be available. Any legislation to be laid before Parliament or proposal submitted for the approval of Parliament shall, not may, shall be accompanied by a fiscal impact analysis stating the estimated effect on revenues and expenditures for the financial year in which the legislation or proposal is expected to come into effect. Mr. Speaker, there are about 2 or 3 levels of it that this House must consider, even as we stay silent. Number 1 is the original fiscal impact of this provision that we are discussing. Number 2 is the fact that when you take out 20% of total monies allocated to the National Health Insurance Fund, that fund is now depleted by 20%, which they would have already in their medium-term framework programmed for something. It is important also for this House to understand from the health insurance authorities how they are going to close that gap of 20% that you are taking out of their medium-term program. So while the ranking member says, and we agree, that we will not participate in a vote on this particular clause, we provide this information to guide the House that what you are doing is leaving a number of holes that are unplugged. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Well, well. So it means, I take it that this side is abstaining from this particular clause. So let him put the question. Because Afia is now abandoning his proposal. Afia, are you abandoning your proposal?
Yes,
Afia, I want to hear from you. Are you abandoning your proposal?
Mr. Speaker, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Aside with the position of the minority on this matter that we should not take any money from the NHIF, and so the up to 10% stands withdrawn and abandoned.
Very well.
Thank you.
So, honorable members, cross 3. All those in favor that cross 3 stands part of the bill, say aye. Aye. All those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it.